Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the Meta Nerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard. DivineZ? I think it's appropriate to change the name of what I'll do for the intro moving forward. But of course, in this video, we'll be going to answer if the triple drive booster that is coming out like I think another week is going to be the best entry to play Vanguard. Let's find out. This video is sponsored by Phoenix Pharos Cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix Pharos Cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. So we are almost at the end of the year and there's only like one more booster set to go through before we officially end 2023. The next booster that is coming out in like a week's time is going to be the triple drive booster, where essentially it's a reprint booster of all the stapler cards as well as all the effect triggers, as well as, you know, bump up some of the more bling rarity of existing cards. And since we're like 1 week away from the release date and most of the reprints are already being confirmed except a few cards that we're gonna go through, it's not really that common that we are gonna get this kind of booster. I mean, probably the next time we are gonna get this booster is going to be the next end of the year, which means at the end of 2024. Without further ado, let's take a look at what this booster set actually has, as well as, you know, try to better understand if it's really the best entry to play Vanguard. First, for Dragon Empire, we're gonna get all 4 reprints of Virenas as well as Nirvanas, which is really good. The only problem that I have for this reprint is Nirvana Jiva. Nirvana Jiva isn't that old yet, but they decided to reprint him. I don't know why that is. Virena Garo is also the same thing. Not too sure why they wanted to reprint these two. Of course, the grade 4S Virena Esperadia is very, very strong, even for the current meta. I mean, multiple decks are using this deck, assuming you even have access to it, and it's such an old card already, so I don't mind the reprint for this one. The OG Mahar Nirvana is a little bit sketchy because I don't think anyone actually plays Mahar Nirvana anymore. Most of them is just gonna convert to the crossover dress stuff because it is much stronger than the Mahar Nirvana. But hey, there's really nothing stopping you from playing Mahar Nirvana inside or Nirvana Jiva deck. It's just that it's going to be very inconsistent. For the other triple Rs that was being reprinted, we have Trick Moon as well as Tamayura and Radalina, the newer form as well. Trick Moon is a very nice reprint for people who bought the starter deck for Basagra, because the one thing that I find is a mistake, they didn't really include the Trick Moon, which is quite vital inside a Basagra deck. With Trick Moon being reprinted inside the set, I actually applaud Bushiroad for doing that. It's also a very old card. The OG Tamayura is okay, whatever. Both Radalina is whatever. They don't really do much, I think, but the reprint is gonna help out Rorowa players a little bit more. But if you are playing Rorowa all this time, then there's really no need to pick up this, unless of course you are a new player looking into trying out Rorowa. For double R, we're gonna get the Snake for stealth support, which is going to be very huge. It does allow more players to have access to this card. It's just gonna be very, very stupid. Forkteo actually gets a reprint, which is super nice for either Soto Doji players or even Shiranui players who previously does not have access to this card. I don't know how many times this card has been reprinted already, and she even gets a alternate art if I'm not mistaken, which is super nice. There's really nothing much in terms of the rest of the support. It's just like a whatever support. The biggest thing in terms of the reprints that we see so far for Dragon Empire is of course going to be the spear for Basagra. That thing has been extinct for the longest time. I don't know where it went. For the rare, of course, the biggest one here is going to be Dragonic Overlord as well as Broken Toys reprint. These two cards are just a stapler card for their respective deck. It's just a really good card. With Bushiroad giving the rare treatment, we're gonna expect much more quantity in terms of all these reprints, which I applaud Bushiroad for. So that's all for the Dragon Empire stuff. For Dark States, it's actually super nice in terms of what the reprints are. For the triple rares, we're gonna have a grade 4 Bruce. At first, I thought like, why grade 4 Bruce? But then after some time of thinking about it, you could technically pick up like 1 or 2 grade 4 Bruce even if you are not playing Bruce, because of how this card synergize with Falkid Performer as well as any other decks, or Right Line that basically needs you to have different types of units or different grades, or even counting the total number of grades in the soul. Yeah, the Unrivaled Bruce is a grade 4, so due to how soul Lion that the whole Dark State Nation does with the Soul, it's a very good pickup in terms of the Unrivaled Brews for any player who is looking to play the Dark States. Chaos is whatever. Drajuot here is actually super important because of the reprint of Rock Agur as well as Drajuot himself. Drajuot is quite possibly going to be the most expensive deck. With them being the reprint actually does help in terms of newer players, but once again, do keep in mind here is that the rest of the support isn't going to get any cheaper due to how pricey Drajuot is, unfortunately. The other triple rares is just gonna be the double Direful Dolls for Tamayura, both the grade 2 version and the grade 1 version. It's a very good time to get into Tamayura because of all these reprints. Like every single component that Tamayura needs is in this booster set. It's just very, very good. For double R, we're gonna get Empuza, which for the longest of time, players has been complaining on not being able to get Empuza, and I think it's super expensive as well before Boucher even announced the reprint. But hey, it's getting a reprint, so hopefully it's not that expensive, and it's a double R treatment as well. For the rest of the bigger one here is going to be Falkit Performer. The other reprints for the double rare isn't looking that enticing because why would you even want to reprint all of this stuff? I really don't get it, especially the Bruce. Just why? For the rare reprints, we're gonna get the Chaos Order. I don't think this order is being played at the moment for Chaos due to how limited the deck space is for Chaos, at least at the moment. You could technically still get this. It's a very nice card and it does help with superior calling some stuff from the Soul, but at the same time, I don't think this card makes a big difference even if you don't run it. For the other reprints, it's just whatever, unfortunately, for Dark States. Moving on. For Keter Sanctuary, we actually do have like a really huge reprint for Keter Sanctuary. On the triple R side, we're gonna get the Grade 4 Bastion, which is super nice, even for a Bastion Accord deck, because the Grade 4 is still playable inside a Bastion Accord. And with them reprinting all versions of Youthberg, yeah, it just allows for more accessibility to those who want to get into Youthberg. And the only thing that you might want to get is possibly the stuff from the DBT 13, where the full blast as well as the Grade 2 and Grade 1, that is the stapler card inside Youthberg deck, and you're pretty much good to go, I think. So if you're looking to play Youthberg, this booster set is the perfect timing for you to get into your Vanguard. Of course, they're going to reprint the Tegre as well as Eva Husband Obscudite, which is whatever. It's not that bad of a reprint. You're just gonna have to get more stuff in order to even play this deck. This deck isn't exactly the most beginner friendly, but it is an option for you to get it. Tegra is Tegra. You do need quite a bit of stuff, but thankfully the triple R reprints for Tegra and the rare reprints for Tegra does helps the whole deck quite a bit. For the double R reprints, of course, we're gonna have the Gramgrace Manly Butcher promo card reprint, which is super nice. For the other support is whatever, not really that big of a difference, I would say. Sequana as well as Zest, and the great one inside this reprint is gonna be a much valuable stuff, especially for Youthberg. The bigger reprints for the rare is of course going to be Peanut Butter Overlord as well as Majesty Lord Blaster reprints. These two cards are super disgusting. It's really a stapler card inside those two decks. So yeah, if you are planning to play Peanut Butter as well as Majesty Lord Blaster, this booster set have these two cards as a stapler card. For Stoicheia is more or less the same as Dragon Empire and Dark States. The reprints for triple R is going to be Magnolia Elder. In terms of Magnolia, I think Magnolia Mass is a much more powerful version of the deck, but Magnolia Elder do receive some of the better supports that Stoicheia has. For example, the generic DBT 13 Dragon, which synergize super well inside a Magnolia Elder deck. Reprinting Zorga is okay. This Zorga is a DBT 01 stuff, so it's a really old card. By reprinting it, it's really nice. Roroba gets a reprint, super nice. Deanta gets a reprint. Now this card is so expensive to the point where it's just ridiculous. With her getting a reprint, hopefully the price starts to drop a little bit more. For the other triple R reprints, the bigger one of course is going to be Maple. Both grade 1 and grade 2 Maple is splashable in any Stoicheia deck as well as Keter Sanctuary deck. So the first cards that are going to be sold out for this booster set is probably going to be the Maples due to how rampant Luart is at the moment as well as how user-friendly Maple is in every single Keter Sanctuary deck. It's just a really good deck. Leonoran as well as Resonance Dragon being reprint is okay. It's just helping out Vivas because Vivas is a very expensive deck. The bigger reprints that we have for for the double R reprints for Stoicheia is going to be the new grade 3 boss unit that I think is a monthly Bushiro. This card is really nice, but unfortunately it's not really that accessible. So it actually allows for players to start out with this deck. I also highly recommend this deck to be your first starting out deck, if of course you want to dip your toes inside Cardfight Vanguard as well as a Stoicheia deck. For the other reprints, I think the bigger one is going to be the Super Saiyan Zogre that we have, meaning that Mushi King as well as Zorga as well as some other decks that we have currently could have access to this card thanks to the reprint. It's just super nice. For the rare reprints, it's not that big of a deal, except maybe Granfia as well as the grade 3 set order for Rorowa. Not really that big of a reprint, if in my opinion, but these cards are really good by themselves in their respective deck nonetheless. Last but not least is Brandt Gate reprints. We do have both Eva as well as the Blitz CEO as a reprint, which is super nice for players who are looking to get into playing those decks. But unfortunately for the Blitz CEO, there's not much good stuff reprint for him. He's just like his own man, and you still need to search for other stuff if you even want to play the Blitz CEO. Eva has most of her stuff being reprinted inside this set, including the set order in the rare section. It's just super nice for players. Of course, Mikani being reprinted, I think it's okay, it's whatever. The more important one is the grade 1 Mikani, which Messiah is abusing like no tomorrow. So yeah, hooray for Messiah players. For the other triple R's, we're gonna get the grade 4 Seraph Snow, which is definitely a really good thing because it is the only OG deck that doesn't have a retrain of the grade 3 boss unit. Orphis is whatever. I don't think people are playing this Orphis in any Orphis mass deck anymore. Gravidia as well as the grade 3 support card is really nice because Gravidia is a really good deck. Unfortunately, the mass isn't really that good. Double R reprints, we're gonna get the Vanguard monthly Bushiro reprint, and it's a double rare treatment. Very, very nice. Other than this, I think there's really nothing much in terms of the reprints other than being a rarity bump. For rare reprints, of course, the Eva one is a huge one. It's absurdly expensive. Luckily, Bushiro decided to give it a reprint. It's very, very nice. Nothing much for the other reprints. Some rare reprints is gonna break the game. It's going to piss some people off while at the same time gonna bring newer players into the game. I'm actually super excited. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section of what card do you think the reprint in this booster set helps out the player base the most. I'm actually happy that Bushiro decided to reprint some of the more crucial stuff and some of the more inaccessible stuff. For example, the magazine promos. Those are the bane of Cardfight Vanguard at the moment. Do like and subscribe if you like this video, and of course during the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.